Good morning, guys. This morning, this video is going to be pretty short, pretty much straight to the point. I'm hoping it won't go too long. Got some things to do. I put in a new piercing. It's a different color. It's it's my birthstone. It's aquamarine. So I'm happy because it took forever to get it in, and I had been wanting to change it and everything, so finally I did it. And so I don't know when I'll do it again, but I did it. So anyway, this morning's video, I made a post on my Facebook page, and I was bringing up the fact, and I say it's a fact, that I'm going to say black and brown of the world, but I'm here in America, so primarily us, but I see it in other places as well, from other peoples as well, shall I say. And what that is that we have a lot of prejudice amongst one another. We know that, we know the history of America. We know the history really all around the world with the Europeans and every black and brown person pretty much in the world. We know the segregation. We know the racism. We know the prejudice. We know all that. And we see a lot of these memes where, we're constantly reminding each other of, I guess, the Europeans' hate for us, I guess, when someone gets shot or killed, or another black woman dies in a jail cell or something like that. We bring that out, we put that up, and we cry injustice, basically, But also, we have that, we know that. But I'm kind of at a point right now in looking at black liberation as a whole. What are we going to do about that? Are we going to continue to pass memes? Are we going to continue to bring these points out and say they hate us? And, because we should know that by now. It's been hundreds of years. It's been centuries. Just the very act of what they have done, what they did to our people, and what they're still doing to many black and brown of the world. We know, it's not like it's a secret or anything. So, but my point is, still, what are we going to do about it? Because what I see is you have so many African Americans who get up and march and join organizations and form organizations, and you don't really see any action. You don't see anything except them saying, we want you all to treat us better. We want you all to give us equal rights. We want you all to be fair to us, to love us, and to treat us like we're your friends. And so I'm totally convinced that's not going to happen. But that's not really what I wanted to talk about. That's pretty much, we know that, okay? So what I wanted to bring up though is the prejudice amongst ourselves. First thing I'm going to get, I already know, is somebody's going to tell me black people can't be racist. I'm not talking about racism. I'm not talking about racism. I'm talking about prejudice amongst each other. And we can, and we do. It's the whole Willie Lynch syndrome. Now, I know the whole story behind Willie Lynch. I know the whole background, that it was actually written by a black man. I saw his interview as to why he even did it. So if you don't know, go look it up. It's actually on YouTube. The real story behind Willie Lynch, or what have you. So I understand that part of it, but that still doesn't take away the fact that we still use those Willie Lynch tactics among each other. We still do those things. We still have light skin against dark skin. We still have big lips against smaller more thin features and smaller noses against big, wider noses. We still have the, the ideas and the perceptions that, if you're lighter and more wider looking, you're smarter. The blacker you are, the less intelligent you are. We have, in this day and time, we definitely have the social status. You know, um, there's a lot of black people who, once they move out of the black neighborhood, they never ever come back. And this is men and women. Now they'll invite some of their family or whatever to their house or whatever, but going back, they don't. They get people of other races. Um, to marry, to have children with. And, one of the things I want to bring up, is, we have a lot of self-hate. Whereas, I, in my personal experience, people can deny this and say it doesn't happen, didn't ever happen, whatever. I'm talking about my personal experience. I remember being younger. I had some teenage friends, teenage girlfriends, and even just in school, I would always hear the little girls, and especially some of the darker girls, I'm gonna get me a Hispanic guy. I'm gonna get me a white guy because I want pretty babies. And so I grew up hearing this, that if you want pretty babies with pretty hair, and I don't want no black babies, then you go and mate with someone outside of your race. And I heard that a lot, and I think even though people really won't admit it a lot, I think that's the case with a lot of our black men. They don't want a little Negro looking baby. And so they go and find a woman of another race, or either a lot of times maybe even very, very high yellow or high real light skin, who will give them those features, and they don't have to be reminded of themselves. They don't have to be reminded of black. They don't have to be reminded, their child is going to be more accepted, more, I'm going to have a pretty baby, and that's something, like I say, that you might think sounds silly, but it's something that I have heard way more than one time. And so I said that to say it reflects the self-hate. It reflects the light skin, dark skin, I'm better than you. Whether they did that to the slaves on the plantation or not, I don't see why they didn't. They used every other tactic. But even if they didn't, we do it. We still do it. You still have black men, dark skinned men, brown skinned men, whatever, who just will not date a dark skinned woman. You have a lot of them who will not date women with natural hair. They want long, straight hair, and so, then you have these same guys who go and say, oh, well, black women not supposed to wear blonde hair, and black, wear your natural hair and this and that. But, natural hair really right now is just kind of catching on the past few years. And so it is popular. It is, they're beginning to see how beautiful it actually is and how versatile it can be. But there are still a lot of black men who want that long, straight hair. And so, you put down and degrade the black woman for going to the weave shop, or, going to get some hair, or putting on a fake ponytail, or just whatever. But I don't think you realize, despite the fact that a lot of black women will say, oh, I don't need a man, and, I dress for myself. I don't need a man to tell me I look good or whatever. It's a lie. It's bull, Bottom line is, women want a man to be attracted to them. And so when she puts this hair on, when she dresses whatever kind of way she does, she's going to do it to get attention. Unless she's a straight lesbian, then she doesn't want your attention. But she, for the most part, is looking for the attention of a man. And the standard of beauty for most black men, in most black men's eyes, have been long, straight hair. And so if you're an African American woman, or what have you, you don't have that, you're going to go buy some, and then they push it. Of course, they push it for you to buy it because they have made that the standard of beauty. They've made that the standard of beauty. And so, that's what you have. You know, I mean, it's a lot to that. I said I was going to do a video about this weave and all this stuff, even though I've never worn weave. Believe it if you want. It's natural now, but I've always worn perms, and my hair has always had a lot of length, so I never really had to wear weaves. But there's a lot of women who do for various reasons. Some of them do it just for variety, just for a change, wigs and weaves. Some of them do it because their hair doesn't grow. Some of them do it because they don't know how to do their hair. I mean, it's lots and lots of reasons. But getting back to this perm thing with the hair, a lot of us, most of us, were given perms and given perms when we were very young. I mean, I don't remember how old I was. I might have been around 10, somewhere between 8 and 10 or something like that. But these mothers, grandmothers, aunties, whoever put your perm on, more than likely did it to these children to these young girls at a very young age. And so you never got the opportunity to see and know your hair. I never knew what texture I had. You know, I truly, seriously thought because my hair would get thick, needing a perm, that my hair was nappy. I have pretty good roots. I have pretty good roots. I don't have I don't have bad edges and all of this, and but are rough edges. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that my hair was actually, not too bad to deal with, because perms had been slapped on your hair so early. And that's a lot of women, Black women. And it's also it's a beautiful thing right now, because we are now newly discovering ourselves, discovering the hair, discovering that we love the way that we look. All of the propaganda with your lips too big, your this too big, your butt, your hips, you've been called fat forever and everything. And then now you realize after all these years that you have been the envy. You've been trying to change everything about you, and yet you have been the envy. I mean, it's amazing when I see those small, skinny white women who are no more than a size 2 who have lips this big. And it's just like, it doesn't even look right. I mean, their lips are bigger than mine, and I'm Black. I know mine aren't very big, but I'm just like, the way that they almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Almost deform themselves to get us, to be us, to look like us. It's absolutely amazing. And so it's catching on slowly. But we are at a point to where the Black woman needs to hear those beautiful things. She needs to hear those beautiful words. She needs to hear men and be around men who really do love natural hair, who don't mind her being her regular natural self and all the essence and glory of who she is. Because it is a scary thing, there's a lot of things, even, that we continue on with prejudice, whereas, Black women will wear braided hair and have been wearing braided hair forever, and it's nothing, But yet, if a white girl has it, or a Hispanic woman has it, or a Chinese woman has it, oh my God, it is trendsetting. Oh my God, it is the wow. There's a new name for it. There's everything. People flock to her, and it's just like, we're sitting back like, well, we've been doing this, But like I said, it's that feeling of making the Black woman feel as if she's not good enough. That if she needs to do something else, something more, to be better. And I think it needs to stop, because it is a lot of, it's going to take a minute to get us back to a point to where we feel beautiful, because we know that America has not put the Black woman up as a standard of beauty. Now, we know secretly the white woman, and really every other woman, sees her as the standard of beauty in every way. But yet the propaganda tells us that, oh, you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're whatever's too thick, too big, too whatever, you know. And so it's a real mind screw that has been going on with us. And I brought up the prejudice in the Black community because we are the ones who do a lot of perpetuating of that. I remember going to a funeral. Going to a funeral in my family. No one had seen my daughter, and my daughter, she is on the lighter side, but all of the family was swooning over her. They were just, oh my God, she just, and I've seen them not do that to darker kids in the family. And I know just growing up, there has been that light skin, dark skin thing in my family. It's in a lot of our families. And bottom line, I'm going to end this video, but bottom line is we really just need to stop the in-house prejudice amongst ourselves. It's there, it's real. It's perpetuated between us, the women and the men. And all of these things that we've been going through since slavery with these Willie Lynch type prejudices, we need to examine ourselves. Because to be very, very honest, my last point is that we can't look at the white man, white woman, whoever else, and tell them to stop being racist and prejudiced to us and stop the things that they do to us when we go back and we do the exact same thing to each other. We're like crabs in a barrel to each other. Sometimes even more so. And I say that because, as I said, they admire our beauty. They admire the natural hair and everything. But yet you'll get a Black man who's like, well, I'm not dating no woman with no natural hair. But yet I haven't found one white man who doesn't like it. So it's some things we need to look at and self-evaluate. I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I thank you once again so much for watching. Hope y'all have a great day. And we will see you on the next video.